So we're going to make some homemade biscuits today. I'm going to show you how you could do it. That way you don't have to go out and buy biscuits from the store, and then you can control what's in the food. Once you learn how to do this and you do it right, you master it, you won't be buying biscuits from the grocery store. So what you'll need is a stick of butter. I have some half and half. We're going to use about a cup of that. We also have some self-rising flour. This already has salt and baking powder to it. If you don't have self-rising flour, you can simply use all-purpose flour or bread flour and add some baking powder to it so that your biscuits rise in the oven. And then we're using stevia here. This is in replacement of sugar. We're not going to use sugar. Stevia is a better alternative, a healthy alternative to sugar, and it's sweeter than sugar. And then we have some cooking spray here. This is what we're going to use when we start to prepare our dough. I'm going to do it on my countertop and use foil paper, or you can just use a cutting board if you have one. And this is our large bowl that we're going to put all the ingredients in and mix together to make our dough. We're going to cook the biscuits in the cast iron skillet. All right, so you want to put your 2 cups of flour in the bowl. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our milk. We're going to add our stevia. And we're going to start to stir everything together. And, oh, I forgot the melted butter too. So we've cut half of the stick of butter. We're going to melt this, and then we're going to pour it into our flour along with our half and half. And then the other half of the stick of butter we're going to use to put on top of the biscuits when the biscuits are almost done cooking in the oven. So what you want to do is you want to make a well in the center, and this is what you're going to pour your wet ingredients in. So we're going to go ahead and add our half and half. And then we're going to add in our melted butter and then add our stevia. We're going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of stevia in here and start mixing our dough together. And there's our 3 tablespoons of stevia. Now we're going to mix this together so we can form a nice sticky dough. Now your dough should be it should look something like this. It should be wet still, it should be sticky, and then it's time to prepare to process our dough. I'm going to use my countertop. I'm going to use some aluminum foil and spray some non-stick spray on top so that my wet dough does not stick to the foil as I get ready to prepare it to be kneaded and folded so that we can start cutting biscuits out. All right, now what you want to do is you want to take your foil and then you want to spray it with non-stick spray. This ensures that the flour, the dough does not stick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add some flour to the surface to ensure that our dough does not stick to the foil, and plus you will knead it so that the dough becomes more dry. So we're just going to add some foil here, add some flour I should say, we already have foil. So this should be enough. If we need to add more, we'll do so later. Now we're going to add our wet dough to the flour foil surface here. All right, there's our dough. Now all you want to do is just shape it, mold it, and then press it out, flatten it. But don't be too aggressive. You don't want tough biscuits. You want to be gentle. And then once you flatten it, all you want to do is keep folding a few times, long ways, short ways, until you get a nice dough surface, and then flatten it again each time you fold the biscuits to make layers, and then you can start cutting the biscuits out if you have a biscuit cutter, or you can just use something you already have like I'm going to do. I'm going to use a glass. I don't have a biscuit cutter. All right, there's our dough. I folded this probably like 5 or 6 times, and each time I did it, I pressed it out. I flattened it as much as I could, and what we're going to do from this point is we're going to start to cut the biscuits. I'm going to use a glass, maybe put a little bit of flour down, and then put the glass in the flour, and then just simply press down to cut the biscuits. Press down, leave it for a couple of seconds, and then lift back up, and then grab the biscuits out to put in the cast iron skillet. I got my oven preheating right now at 400 degrees, and we'll probably cook the biscuits for about 15 to 20 minutes in the oven. Make sure your cast iron skillet is coated well with a non-stick spray, cooking spray, or you can use oil or you can use butter. It really doesn't matter as long as you put something in here to keep the biscuits from sticking to the bottom. The last thing that you want to do is scrape biscuits off the bottom, or basically rip the biscuit off the bottom off the cast iron skillet and can't even enjoy the whole biscuit. You have half of a biscuit. You don't want to do that. This is all you have to do. It's easy. So we got about 5, and then we'll take the remaining dough, what's left, and try to make another biscuit or 2 out of it. And then we're just going to take these and put these in the cast iron skillet. And that's 5 biscuits. We might be able to squeeze one more in here. If not, we'll probably have to use another baking sheet and put the remaining biscuits in so we can cook what's left. We can use what's left of our dough. All right, so that's what's left of our dough. So we can probably get about 2 or 3 more biscuits out of here. Let's see. Let's see what we can do with this. So we have 2, and then what's left out of the remaining dough, we can probably just roll it up and just make a drop biscuit out of it, maybe. Or maybe we can make a third one, we'll see. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a biscuit, one more biscuit in the cast iron skillet, and then I'll have to use a baking sheet. Well, actually, I'm gonna have to use a baking sheet regardless. I might as well put the remaining in on the baking sheet. So I had to get out a baking sheet so I can put these remaining 2 biscuits or 3 on here. And my oven is ready to go. So we're gonna bake these for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm gonna keep an eye on them so they don't get too brown. Definitely don't want burnt biscuits. And then probably about halfway, I'm gonna take them out, and then we're gonna add some butter on top of the biscuits. All right, there's our 3 biscuits that you see here. This one I simply just formed in my hand. So this is like one big biscuit, probably like 2 of these rolled into one. So we're gonna put these in the oven. And then get the cast iron skillet of biscuits and put that in the oven too. like I said, you want to cook these for about 15 to 20 minutes. I have my oven on 400. It's really going to depend on your oven, how your oven cooks. But no higher than 425. It's somewhere around between 375 and 425. You don't want to do 450. Otherwise, you're going to more than likely burn the biscuits. All right, so the biscuits are almost done. We're going to take some butter and cut them in slices and put them on top of the biscuit. I just wanted to show you what this other one looks like here. This is the one that I literally rolled up in my hand. See how big that is? Oh my God. So we got 8 biscuits here, but really, this is kind of like 2. So this would be like 9, 2 biscuits in one. All right, so we're gonna stick these back in the oven, guys. I tried to let this butter sit on top of the butter. As you see, it's sliding off the biscuits because the biscuits are still hot. We're gonna put these back in the oven probably for about 3 to 5 more minutes. I've been cooking them for about 17 minutes. They're almost done. And as you see here, I did have butter on top of the biscuits, but they pretty much melted the butter. So the butter's kind of sliding off and going inside the cast iron skillet. But they're almost done. They look good. Would you look at that? That's how they turned out. Wow. This big whopper right here. I think that's gonna be the one I eat first. Look at that. Not overcooked, they're not too dark, not hard at all. I was playing with one of them over here. Look at that. That's perfect. I'm gonna let you check out my sausage. There's my sausage, it's done. And the potatoes are almost done too. All right, and there's my breakfast. So we're gonna pick this Whopper up. It's nice and soft. Look at that. Wow. This is definitely a keeper. This is good. This is a good biscuit. You can probably see layers on the inside. But it's nice, soft, fluffy. This is really good. So thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for watching. You guys have a good day. We'll see you next time.